Opening day festivities wrapping up, and we'll be back to get this season started right after this. Hello, baseball fans, and welcome. Opening day baseball on the show. It's the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. Boog Sciambi alongside Chris Singleton, our partner, ready to go. Always a pleasure to get things started with you on opening day.
Well, happy New Year, buddy. And anyone that's involved in baseball, even though it's not January 1st, this is the start of a new year. Every team has playoff hopes. I love this time of the year. I'm excited to get things going.
All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. Just about set to go, and starting in this one, Shane McClanahan.
Well, a very solid ERA last season, just a little over 3, and when you've got a guy like that taking the mound for you, the offense is definitely expected to score 4 runs at least, unless they're really struggling. So more times than not, when he's on the ball, you're going to win the ball game if you just do your part as an offense. So last year, great year. He wants to repeat that or even improve. And I think there is some room for improvement. He's got good stuff. It's just executing from hitter to hitter.
And a 2-1 on the way. Got the back going too soon and strike 2.
Well, here's a guy at the plate. I'm expecting to have a good game. He always seems to play better in road games.
Pitch misses there, and the count's full.
I think he wanted that call in the upper part of the zone, but just didn't get it. Now he's just trying to get a better feel for how much it missed, so he can adjust his sights just a little bit.
The wind of the pitch. Swing and a miss, and he chases that one in the dirt. And it beats him for the first out after the drop third strike.
Well, classic pitch sequencing there to change eye levels for the punch out. That fastball in the pitch before was off. It was very competitive, and that gets you thinking that he might try to climb the ladder. But then the curveball out of that same tunnel just falls off the table, and you can't make contact.
Here's Kevin Kiermaier. The wind to kick the pitch. Bunting for a hit, first base side. And he takes it himself for the out. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Blue Jays. And with their ace on the mound today, they're just looking to provide him a little bit of run support, and they'll see what they can do for him.
Boog, you have to be really careful when you've got a guy like this on the mound for you to not become a spectator. You know that he doesn't give up a whole lot, but sometimes guys get a little too comfortable and don't have an urgency to score runs. You have to make sure you put him in a situation where he can get the W, but also you guys can cruise to the finish line and not have to worry about a comeback in the end.
And a swing and a miss, and that's that. We head to the bottom of the first. No score after a half inning. Back now in Tampa Bay, and the starter for Toronto, Roy Halladay. Chris, what should we keep an eye on here with him?
Over 200 career wins. That's a lot by today's standards. Tells you about the longevity of his career, his ability to work deep into games, even when he doesn't have his best stuff.
We go to the bottom of the first. And now the right fielder, Josh Lowe.
The right fielder, Josh Lowe.
That one in the dirt, and a count 2-1. And a swing and a line drive into right field. Green hauls it in, and there's one away. All right, let's take a look at the Rays lineup. A tough challenge in this one. An excellent arm on the mound. Singy, they're going to have to capitalize on their opportunities.
Yeah, and they're not going to get a whole lot if he pitches the way that he's capable of pitching. So, be ready to swing from the first pitch. You get something straight, man, you better turn on it.
Now it's Randy Arozarena. And there's a ball. There's a strike.
Back-to-back fastballs in. That last one called for a strike. Probably go away, but look for him to come back in there to try to finish you off.
Next offering misses down and away. 1 out, bases empty. Got it by him for the K.
He's really good hitting the baseball the other way, so credit the pitcher for having him out in front of that pitch. Clearly he had him fooled.
2 outs, bases empty. Yandy Diaz now. Next offering is down low. Two outs, bases empty. This one lifted in the air, left field. Varsho pulls it down, and that's the inning. We head to the second here at Tropicana Field. No score. Back here at Tropicana Field, second inning set to go. And now for the Jays, Carlos Delgado. And the 3-1. Swing and a miss.
He got away with one there, but he knows he can't go to that spot very often against a guy like this.
Now this one's crushed down the line. Looking foul ball.
Well, that was hit pretty hard and sure had home run distance, but if you're the pitcher out there on the mound, you execute it. Just a long strike, you go after him and finish him off.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And quickly one away in the second. Stepping in, Sean Green. The pitch. Hard hit, right side. Gets it to first. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the second. Justin Turner now. Second inning here, no score. Next offering is in the dirt. Wouldn't chase that time. In the air, right field, low, ranging after it. No trouble here, puts it away for the out. And that is that. So they make short work of him there. We go to the bottom of inning number 2. No score. We head to the bottom of the second. Here's the third baseman, Evan Longoria. When you talk about a neat defensive third baseman, this guy's at the top of the list.
Stud. When you look at players like this, you play that hot corner. Got to be pretty courageous over there with the way balls come off the bat. That's the kind of guy that every year you expect him to be in the All-Star game and have a gold glove, if not a platinum glove.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
The pitch. Swings through that, and it's a strikeout. 1 down.
Nice, doubled up with the slider for that punch out. 1-4, just caught the zone. So as a hitter, you have to protect right there. Great pitch to just expand a little bit more. He got that chase he was looking for. That right there is good pitching.
Buck Leonard digging in now. 1 down, base is empty. Swing and a miss. Now 1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And here it comes. This ball's chopped on the ground. Now the throw to first on the run. And they get Leonard for the out.
Batting sixth, the second baseman, Brandon Lowe.
And now it's Brandon Lowe. Swing and a miss. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, there's a certain point where you have to commit to what you think you see, and he guessed wrong right there. Nasty slider with just terrific bite at the end.
Swings through that one. It's a strikeout. Down in order go the Rays. We'll move to the third with no score. And we're back. Well, here we go. Top of the third, scoreless game. And now it's Dalton Varsho. And that's downstairs and outside. Swings through that one.
Spin rate's outstanding on that high fastball. Really tough to hit.
Hit in the air, left field. Rosarena moving under it. Hauls it in for the out.
The second baseman,
Canabiggio up to the plate. Top of the third, no score. It's in there. 2-2 now. In the air out towards right center. Siri in position. Calls it in, and there's 2 away.
batting up, the catcher.
So up next for Toronto, Alejandro Kirk. Bounced out to short. Throw is high and over his head.
The bat, number 11.
Just kind of sailed that throw and pulled it across his body towards the right field side of first base, and usually that means the fielder just didn't square up his shoulders to the target, and I think that throw had just as much to do with his footwork as anything else.
Bo Bichette up to the dish. Fouled off down the right side.
I want to start that load a little bit sooner because of the good velo.
Swings through it, and that's a strikeout. One error in the inning, but it doesn't hurt him. We move on to the bottom of inning number 3. We're tied 0-0. And welcome back to the ballpark. Set for the bottom of the third. Isaac Paredes now. The pitch. Ground ball right side. Steps on first for the out.
Batting in, the center fielder, Jose Siri.
And now it's Jose Siri. You talk about elite defensive players, especially in the middle of the diamond, and this guy is at the top of the list.
Yeah, we go beyond just the fielding percentage and what it looks like, but the ability to have a range and close holes that are normally there against an average defender. But this guy is special, and you can see it in his first step quickness.
And there's ball 4.
Well, he tried to nibble right there and just missed his spot. Hitter didn't offer at it. Now he has somebody to worry about over at first.
Here's the catcher, Rene Pinto. Siri, the runner at first with one gone in the inning. Pickoff throw, and he dives back in safely. 1-1 now.
Next ball, two.
And another ball. Chris, with that distraction and a speedy guy at first, he's in a favorable hitter's count.
Well, if nothing else, I mean, this is a great spot for a hitter to be in.
Righty to the plate. That clips the corner.
That front door slider is such a devastating pitch. You don't want to get beat by the inside fastball, so you cheat a little bit, and then by the time it gets there, it's out of the swing play.
Runner on the go. Foul ball, and it remains a full count. The other way. Fair ball. Siri, ground second on his way to third. Headed for the plate. The relay. The tag is in there.
It's a run on the board and picks up an RBI. He really shot that one down the right field line and somehow found a way to keep it from slicing foul. One thing that was great about the approach, his head was down all the way through the pitch, and that's how you do it.
So the Rays batting order turns over. Now it's the right fielder, Josh Lowe. The 1-1. Bounce to third. Fires across the diamond. He's out.
Now batting, left fielder, Randy Arozarena.
Randy Arozarena getting ready to hit. Man on second, 2 down. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
1 ball.
Man, that was pretty gross right there.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
This one in the dirt. Runner holds tight as the count moves to 2-2. To the right side, and it finds its way through for a hit. Way at the plate. Got it. That ends the inning and stops things from getting out of hand.
Well, it's pretty difficult to throw a base runner out at the plate with 2 outs and a base hit to the outfield, but an excellent job of coming up with it, getting rid of it quickly, and throwing on the money. That is great technique from start to finish. Nice job to end the inning.
Back now in Tampa Bay, John Sciambi with Chris Singleton, and set to lead off the fourth, Kevin Kiermaier. Left-hand hitter waits. Bounding ball here, rolls foul. One, 2 now. And that one almost hit him. Wouldn't chase that time.
Now in this 3-ball count, down in the ball game, you've got to be very selective. Take your walk if they'll give it to you.
Swings and misses. It's a strikeout. Gassed it right by him.
Oh, there's a small sigh of relief right there. I mean, just to keep that speed off the base paths. It's not just the pitcher. It's other guys that have to think about it. From your infielders, have to think about that runner potentially stealing, but also be in position to make a play. As an outfielder, you're thinking about a base hit to the outfield. I got to get to it quickly to try to keep this guy from taking an extra base. So I think everyone just a little more relaxed that he didn't reach base.
Boots it. Safe at first. No play. We'll see how they score this.
Now batting, the first baseman.
Runner on at first with 1 gone. Carlos Delgado next up for the Blue Jays. And a pitch.
2 balls,
Pitch
1
out,
strike.
but no action. 2-1 now. Runner takes off. Swing and a miss. And safe. It's a stolen base.
When your catcher's not a great thrower, you have to do a better job at controlling the running game. And that's throwing over, that's stepping off, doing whatever you can to try to keep that base stealer's rhythm off. Well, they weren't able to do it right there. They're going to have to make some type of adjustment. Our players are going to be running all game.
Next pitch misses way outside. Sean Green waiting to hit for Toronto. Tap to first. Leonard. And he handles it himself for the out.
And he looked a little tentative on that swing. Almost like he didn't get pitch recognition. And tried to slow his bat down just to make contact. I'd rather see a guy swing through it instead of making weak contact and putting it in play. Have another pitch where maybe he can drive out of the ballpark.
Kicks and deals. And that one fouled off.
You know, this guy's great speed is in the back of that pitcher's mind. If he can get on, it's going to give him one more thing he's got to think about.
And the pitch. Fouls that off to the left, and will do it again.
Pretty good pitch there to take a rip at. He wants to get his arms extended. He likes the ball away from him a little bit, just not able to square it up.
Two outs. And he grounds one back up the middle. What a stop. Fires to first. And he gets him. Nicely done. Blue Jays held in check. Still behind by a count of 1-0. Back here at Tropicana Field. And now the DH, Yandy Diaz.
Yandy Diaz.
Right-hander kicks, deals. And that clips the inside corner. And now it's 1-2. Just misses the mark outside the zone.
Good spot there, but didn't get the strike at the knees, and doesn't seem too convinced by the call out there on the mound as he tries to get a better sense of the umpire strike zone.
The 2-2 now. And that just misses.
He's really tightening up his hitting zone with 2 strikes here. I love it.
Got him swinging.
That was a pretty good pitch. Top of the strike zone. Received fastballs in that location. Hitters, especially with 2 strikes, have to be ready to pull the trigger.
Down the third baseman, Evan Longoria. The wind of the pitch. And another ball. Base is empty, 1 away here on opening day. That one a little bit high. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Struck him out without a swing. Couldn't pull the trigger on a fastball at the knees.
Now batter.
2 outs, base is empty. And here's the first baseman, Buck Leonard. 2 down, nobody on.
That's in. Ball 2.
That one misses. And now 3-1.
Oh, they've had a hard time scoring in this one. The pitcher out there on the mound wants to keep attacking, make sure that they don't get any confidence.
Swing and a ground ball. Biggio tosses to first, and they get Leonard for the out. 3 up, 3 down, inning over. Rays held in check here, but they lead it 1-0. New inning getting started, and it'll bring up Justin Turner. Turner, a guy with great bat-to-ball skill. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. So a man on base to start the inning.
Dominant performance for him today, Blue. Just 2 hits allowed so far, no runs across either, and he's had an answer for just about every hitter he's faced. So I don't think this hit is going to knock him off his stride too much.
And next for Toronto, Dalton Varsho. Next offering is in for a strike.
He's pitching well, but not throwing a ton of first pitch strikes. Usually doesn't work out for success, but you can never predict baseball.
And another ball. And that's too high.
On this count, runner not known for his speed, but I think you got to put him in motion. Try to avoid a double play here, Boo.
Kevin Biggio on deck for the Blue Jays. 3-2 now. Hangs and misses. It's a strikeout. And now for the Jays, Kevin Biggio.
Definitely wants to stay out of the double play here. Ball on the ground in the infield. Should be an inning-ending double play.
Late on that fastball.
Knowing that the pitcher wants a ground ball double play opportunity here, you've got to lay off pitches down in the zone. Right there, swinging at that pitch, that's a no-no.
Outside low, and it's 2-2. Action in the pen down there. Garrett Clevenger warming up for manager Kevin Cash. Kelly also getting ready. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Blew the express right by his bat for strike 3.
Oh, interesting. He's looking very comfortable out of the stretch after giving up the leadoff single. Back-to-back strikeouts, so they haven't been able to move that runner up, get him into scoring position, and try to have a better chance of scoring. I tell you, good job so far on the mound. He just needs one more out.
Here's the catcher to hit, Alejandro Kirk. Tying run is at first as we play game 1 of this 4-game series. Check swing, and he held up.
You got 2 balls, 1 strike.
Fouls one off. 2-2. Two outs. Loud. They take the force out number 3. Still nothing on the scoreboard for him after 5. It's the Rays 1 and the Jays nothing. We head to the bottom of the 5th, and stepping in for the Rays, Brandon Lowe. Kicks and fires. That clips the zone, and that's strike 2. Swing and a miss. Curveball in the dirt. Got him. One away on the strikeout.
Well, that's pretty much the dream 2-strike curveball. If you're the pitcher, hard downward break at the very end that just dips below the swing path. And they say pitchers want to try to bounce that pitch right on top of the plate. So that was exactly what he was looking for on the mound.
Up and in. Now 2 balls and a strike.
Distance, but just too much hook to it. So I want to make a little bit of an adjustment, let it travel a little more, and see if you can keep that thing fair.
And that one is lifted in the air. Sizing this one up. Makes the grab for the second out.
Now batting, center fielder, Jose.
2 outs, bases empty. Jose Siri next to hit for the Rays. A little out front there as he swings through it.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And down on strikes he goes. Picks up strikeout number 7. Rays go in order 1, 2, 3, but they hold a 1-0 lead. Top of the 6th inning. Here's the shortstop at the plate, Bo Bichette. The pitch.
Ball. Down.
Meanwhile, activity in the bullpen. Garrett Clevenger, the left-hander, is getting that big fastball of his ready to go. And the pitch.
Inside ball.
Oh, he never moved because he never had time to. But that kind of velocity, you'd prefer that pitcher work away.
Next offering is in for a strike.
As a hitter, you don't know what to expect here in the 3-2. If he'll throw a breaking ball 3-1, he'll do it again 3-2.
Waves at the bender for the strikeout.
Well, I don't think there's a hitter alive that hasn't at some point succumbed to that pitch right there. It just looks like it's in the zone the entire way, and then the top spin and gravity take over in the blink of an eye, and it's just such a tough pitch to lay off of.
Here's Kiermaier now. 1 down, base is empty. Swings and pulls it foul to the right side. Blue Jays down a run, and we're the top half of the 6th. And there are 2 down.
Tasked with 1, 2, and 3 to start this inning, but no trouble so far. I'm sure he'd love to strike out the side here. Make a little statement, but you got to be composed in this spot. Focus on getting this next guy. You got 2 good outs. Want to get the 3rd one and avoid the middle of that lineup coming up with a base runner. It could become dangerous.
Paul Molitor next up for the Blue Jays. Just missed. The Blue Jays trailing by a run as we play game 1 of this 4-game series. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count with 2 outs.
And it really looks like these hitters have been in between with their timing today. Good fastball.
A swing and a miss. That retires the side, and that'll do it. So another good inning for him on the mound. 6 shutout innings now. It's the Rays 1 and the Jays nothing. And we're back. Going to bottom 6. And here's the catcher, Rene Pinto. In the air, fairly deep to right field. Puts it away for the out.
The right fielder, number 15.
So the batting order turns over. And now the right fielder, Josh Lowe. Here comes a pitch. And that skips in the dirt. And down on strikes. That's the 2nd out.
Well, that's the effect of the splitter that you're looking for on the mound. Really nice pitch right there and had him out in front over the top. I'm sure the batter was thinking he was getting something else, perhaps a fastball with a little more straight and velo to it.
2 outs, base is empty. Now the number 2 hitter, Randy Arozarena. Next offering is in for a strike. And another ball.
2 strikes.
Two down, nobody on. Here in the bottom of the 6th. And a swing and a miss. And that's that. Down in order go the Rays. They lead it 1-0. Welcome back. We're in the 7th. We have a new pitcher on the mound, Garrett Clevenger.
And we all know about his slider. It's just filthy, man. And one of the better ones in the game, I'd say. Spin rate's very high, and it just breaks a ton.
Well, 1-run game. And a batter now, Carlos Delgado.
Right through there for a strike.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Looking to get the tying run on base. That missed by a lot. The count now 2-2. And that's outside. Sean Green waiting to hit for Toronto. The wind of the pitch. This one in the air, right field. Lowe has it sized up. Drops into the glove, and there's one away.
Well, such a confidence boost for a reliever to come into the ball game and get the first hitter he faces. Just makes everything slow down a little bit, and then from there can really settle in.
Trying to hold a 1-run lead here in the top half of inning number 7. Swings through that one out in front that time.
They really need to hang in there with that front side against this left-handed breaking ball.
And a swing and a miss. And there's 2 down. Turner climbs in on that right side. The lefty ready, and a 1-1. And that's outside. And a good eye there. Dalton Varsho on deck for the Blue Jays. Fly ball pretty well struck right field. Low drop step going back, and that is gone. So he goes the opposite way with that one, and we are starting over. It's 1-1.
That's a game changer right there. A big time swing, and we're all tied up. Always scary for a pitcher when a guy can take a fastball down the middle and hit it to the opposite field. No holes in a swing like that, and that time that ball was hit hard.
So 2 down. Now the left fielder, Dalton Varsho. In the dirt, 2-1. In the air, center field. Series sizing it up. And that's the 3rd out. Toronto picks up 1 on this homer. All even at 1 apiece. It's Major League Baseball, and it's on the show. And welcome back to the ballpark. Now it's the DH, Yandy Diaz. And a base hit up the middle. A leadoff single, and the go-ahead run is aboard.
All over that one right there. Other than ripping one into the gap or blasting one over the wall, there aren't a whole lot of hits that are more satisfying than a nice line drive in the center field, so that definitely felt good.
Next to bat will be the Rays four-hitter, Evan Longoria. At the belt and fires. That one finds the zone, and that is strike two.
This lineup is having a tough time finding a good rhythm at the plate. Their swings are disjointed, which tells me they're having issues with pitch recognition.
And he deals. Chases that one out of the zone. Now one away. And here is Buck Leonard.
The first baseman.
This pitcher's done a good job of disrupting the hitter's timing with the mix of pitches and changing speeds. You want to keep that front foot inconsistent for the batter. Their swings are hesitant, and that's exactly what you want on the mound.
And a count 1-2. Lifted in the air down the left side. Bichette on the move. He's got it. That's out number 2.
The batter, number 8. Second baseman, Brandon Wow.
Lau at the plate. Check swing, and that's a ball. Two gone. The possible go-ahead run at first. Swings through the fastball up in the zone.
This game has been so tight. Feels like the next team to score will win it.
The pitch. Swing and a pop-off in foul ground. And puts the squeeze on that one. That is the inning. So no runs here on a base hit, no errors, and one left. 8th inning coming up. All tied 1-1. Welcome back, and a new arm on the mound to start the 8th. Phil Maton.
And he's got a big-time breaking ball to contend with. Hitters going to have to pick it up early if they're going to have any chance.
Now it's the second baseman, Kevin Biggio.
The second baseman, Kevin Biggio.
The 2-1. Just off the inside edge. Alejandro Kirk waits on deck. Right-handed reliever. Chopped in the ground. Lau throws to first in time, and they get Biggio for the out.
That play won't be trending on social media later on, but it's still important to execute it to perfection. This game is a lot harder than it looks, partner.
Alejandro Kirk will hit next. And that's in the dirt. That one misses, and the count is 3-1. Bichette getting on deck circle. Righty delivers. Fouled off. He was late. All tied up, and we're at the top of the 8th. That one off the inside edge. You walked him.
Great back and forth, and that is bad. He had to play off some really close pitches, and somehow Bogey found a way to keep the bat on his shoulder right there. I'll tell you right now, I couldn't have done it.
Ball to strike. And it skips in the dirt.
Well, with the amount of pitches that can end up in the dirt, a good secondary lead doesn't have to get away from the catcher, but if you're
at him on the front for strike 3.
Good horizontal movement on that curveball right there, and just enough to get him to chase it. He placed it just off the corner, and that's one of those where a pitcher says if he's going to miss off the plate. So really good job. Great pitch for the punch out.
Here's the center fielder, Kevin Kiermaier. Here's a 1-1. Just missed. The pitch. Late that time, it's strike 2.
I think he was sitting off speed there.
Kirk off the first with 2 away. He fouls it off. We'll do it again.
Great swing and solid contact. Just a little too quick. He's got to stay back a little longer.
Two outs. Swing and a miss. That one in the dirt. Throw sails on him, and it takes off down the line.
Now back. First baseman, Paul Molitor.
Go-ahead run on base. Paul Molitor next up for the Blue Jays.
If you don't get ahead in the count, you can forget about having any success against him.
Second and third, 2 down.
Nothing but curveballs so far in the at-bat. Kind of makes it difficult as a hitter to know what to look for because you start wondering if they'll keep coming with it or if they'll try to speed you up.
One, 2 now.
2-2 now.
That ball is foul, and the pressure is building. And the righty deals. Foul ball, another 2-2 upcoming.
Well, he knows they don't want to give him anything to hit, but when you've got opportunities to drive in runs, you've got to expand the zone. He's capable of going out there and doing damage with it.
Longoria tosses across the first. They miss a big chance to take the lead here late. Blue Jays leave a pair. Score remains deadlocked at 1. Back now, new pitcher on the mound as we roll into the bottom of the 8th. Yusei Kikuchi.
Number 16, Yusei Kikuchi.
And the batter will be the shortstop, Isaac Paredes.
The shortstop.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Looked off balance that time. Toronto's bullpen with some action. Mitch White getting ready to go. The wind of the pitch. Fights that one away. Still 1-2.
You can see he was trying to stay back long enough to handle the off-speed pitch, but just a little turn on the fastball.
And here it comes. The shortstop takes the ball. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Chased the fastball up the ladder for strike 3. Pinch hitter coming on, Harold Ramirez. And this is a big at-bat in this ball game. The count 2-1. That's to third. Slings it across, and that quickly 2 away.
That's a huge defensive play in the late stages of the game. It might not be the most challenging we've seen today, but it needed to be made. That's helping your team.
And now the catcher comes up to hit. Rene Pinto. And misses inside. Two down, nobody on. Here the bottom half of the 8th inning. Next offering upstairs. Josh Lowe up next for the Rays. Two down, nobody on. And now the count filled up 3-2.
Wow, good luck catching up to that one.
Got him swinging. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. Nothing doing for Tampa. Still tied 1-1. Staying in the game on defense, Harold Ramirez. He'll be out center now after pinch hitting. And the Rays, they go to the bullpen. Kevin Kelly.
Number 49, Kevin Kelly.
And now the first baseman, Carlos Delgado.
He's always a threat. Even if this guy is 0 for 3 for the night with 3 strikeouts, he can come up that 4th time and do damage because he's that good.
Good eye in that spot. Left-hand batter waits. And breaking ball drops in for a strike.
He must have been looking for something else because he gave up on that pitch a little early. It was right down Main Street. Probably not going to see a better pitch to hit in this at bat.
Next one off the plate inside. And the count's full. Sean Green up next. And the right-hander deals. Fouled off again, and it remains 3-2. The pitch. Foul ball, and it remains a full count. Left-hand hitter waits. Got him looking. He battled for a long time, but it finishes with a strikeout. You can't be mad at yourself after an at-bat like that one.
No, just couldn't pull the trigger on the fastball right there, and I don't think he was taking it, thinking it might be a called ball or anything. I just think he was flat out frozen. Did not expect that location, in my opinion.
Now a chance for Sean Green.
Ball, that's out.
Just missed. Base is empty, 1 away. Here at the top of the 9th. And a curve is down and in. Activity in the bullpen. Jason Adam warming up for manager Kevin Cash. One down, base is empty. 3-1, and he couldn't come up with it.
Well, that's a really dangerous base runner to put on first, especially in a tie game. Now there might be some consequences coming from that mistake.
Here's Justin Turner. And the pitch. Slow roller to third. Longoria. Over to Lau. On to Leonard for the inning-ending double play.
Well, we can never overstate it. Pitcher's best friend right there. Double play, gets out of the jam, saves some pitches.
So bottom of the 9th. Now it's the right fielder, Josh Lowe.
A little surprised we don't see a pinch hitter here with the lefty-lefty matchup.
The wind to kick the pitch. And a big swing and a miss. Action in the pen down there. Tom Henke, the closer, is getting loose. on to swing and a miss. One gone here.
You know, Boog, you often think of sliders more for that horizontal movement, but most of the good ones have both vertical depth and that horizontal movement, and that's what we saw right there. A good drop on the break and got him to swing over the top.
Randy Arozarena next to hit for the Rays. Fastball for a strike, and the count is 1-2.
2 strikes.
And now the lefty off the mark there, and it's 2-2.
Man, oh man, I don't know how you take that pitch. That's as close as it gets.
And another ball. Yandy Diaz waiting for a turn at the plate. All tied up here in the last half of inning number 9. Swung on, belted. That's back there. Gone. He'll take a jog around the bases. And the Rays walk it off for the win.
Hitting a walk-off homer is the kind of thing you dream about growing up. You're in the backyard, you're creating the most pressure-packed scenario, and what do? You come through with the big swing. Well, he was living a childhood moment right there. Nice swing of the bat, nice win for the team.
And your final score here today, 2-1. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew, I'm John Shambi saying so long.
The final 9 of this afternoon's ball game. For the victorious Rays, 2 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors, and they left 2 runners on base. For the Blue Jays, 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, they left 6 runners on base. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 36 minutes. Our paid attendance at Tropicana Field this afternoon, a sellout of 31,042. The Rays thank you and hope you'll join us again real soon.